relative to what we had yesterday. How many of you were here yesterday? Last night? Oh, good. Great. You managed to wake up. I thought you would have gone home and meditate, you know. Why the rest of you didn't come? Really? Later on, the ones who came yesterday, I'm going to ask you what's your score. I went home and I realized I didn't ask you the score. Did the score improve for all of you? Yes or no? It's good enough. Score went up. Before that, was it below 5 or above 5? You know, 1 being, I don't know anything. 10 being, I'm taking over the lecture next week. Okay. Before the talk, was it before 5? 5 or after 5? You see it went up. So it went up from what? Okay. Cannot play too much. Today we have, 1.5 hours? 1.5 hours. Oh, okay. 1.5 hours can. Now, we're going to talk about chaga. The path to heaven is to draw you here. Chaga is the real talk. Okay? Chaga. Do you know what chaga is? Chaga? Generosity. Okay? Translated as generosity. Does it sound familiar to another word? What's that word? Allah, I knew. I know. You all know Dharma. But less familiar with chaga, isn't it? Similar, but not identical. They're not identical. Dharma can be used as a verb or a noun. A verb, it would be to give. A noun is giving, right? Chaga, it's a noun. Only a noun. It doesn't have a verb. Chaga is generosity, the idea, the mental state of generosity. Dana is the act of giving. The act of giving. Chaga is a mental state. A mental state. What's the difference? You can be giving something without chaga in there. So you can be doing dana, but there is no generosity in your mind. But if there is the mental state of generosity in your mind, I forgot to click. If there's a mental state of generosity in your mind, for sure, the instinct that arises in you is, I want to give something. Get it? So, the important teaching here is the mind. What is in your mind when you are giving something? What is in your mind when you're giving something, okay? Not to worry, when we upload the talk, the slides go along. So don't have to worry about, I got the picture. Alamak, she went on already. Yeah, don't worry. I don't want bad feedback, okay? Now, we're going to talk about how the Buddha described chaga. This is in Anguttara Nikaya. This was his definition. I will give it to you. Can you see the words? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 qualities, 6 features of chaga. Okay? I will describe each feature separately. You look at the words, 6 features. 1, heart devoid of the stain of miserliness. Number 2, freely generous. 3, open-handed. 4, delighting in relinquishment. 5, devoted to charity. And 6, delighting in giving and sharing. And some of you will cleverly say, and they all sound the same, like thesaurus with many words. Okay, who say that? Who say that? Who say that the 6 points that the Buddha, not Sylvia, Buddha put there are the same? Very good. Pass. They're not the same. Okay? Now we're going to go through one by one. I need you to memorize all 6. If in your mind you only have 2 out of 6, tak jalan, fail, okay? 6 out of 6, 5 out of 6 already not full. 6 out of 6. A heart devoid of the stain of miserliness. It's the purest form. Chaga in its purest form doesn't have even the arising of reluctance. Therefore, if you are a practitioner or you are very serious about practicing chaga, you have to watch your mind. If there is even one drop, I use the word smudge. You know what's a smudge, right? If you're not picky and you're not OCD, you can't even see the smudge, okay? A smudge is so subtle. For you to be able to catch that, your mind has to be very sharp. And what are you supposed to catch? You are to catch the arising of an unpleasant feeling. Very subtle, unpleasant feeling. Even if it arises for a split second, that is arising of greed. Even if that unpleasant feeling comes out for just a split second, there is greed in you. Your chaga kena tainted already. That's what it means. Why is it a stain? Why did he call it a stain of miserliness? A stain is something that weighs you down. It weighs the mind down. The mind can't feel completely joyous in giving. When you give properly, there is a joy, which I will explain later. So if there is one drop of, yeah, I should keep it for myself. Liao. Okay? Meaning kena stain kena stain. So instead of A, you get A half. Depending on how big your stain is. The next one. Freely generous. You notice I never use the Pali word, but occasionally it pops up. In this particular one, I want to introduce you to the Pali word, mutta chaga. Mutta means free, to be free. Literally untied down, unbonded. Free, okay? Now, you tell me, why would your mind suddenly feel tied down? Why would it feel not free, shackled? Often, it feels shackled when it thinks too much. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? What are the rules? How do I follow? You have rules and regulation. Remember, sometimes when you do Dharma and then you're told, oh, you must do it like this and you must do it like that and you must lift the table and flip the chair, that sort of things. When you have rules to follow, what happened to your mind? What happened to your mind? Hello, it's written there. It doesn't feel free. Okay? And this is very interesting. Don't you think it is very interesting? You never knew that chaga got so many definition, so many features. That's what he said. It feels free. It doesn't hold on to anything. It doesn't think so much. And therefore came this point. When you think, when there's thought construction, somehow or other, every time you think, every time you start thinking, somehow or other, it will drift back to the I. Somewhere, somehow, it will drift back to what's in it for me. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Am I doing it right? Is my chaga better than yours or not? Oh, sorry, my gift, my dharma better than yours. That thing. As long as the I arises, that's it. Chaga kena stain. Ayyo, so tough. And this is only 2. 4 more to go, okay? So, bottom line, when generosity is pure, it doesn't think too much. If you find yourself thinking, cut the thoughts. Stop the thinking. Feel the joy. Give. Okay? Next one. Open-handed. It means no discrimination. You see, the problem with us, the human mind, is it's programmed to protect itself. It's programmed. It is programmed to protect itself, and by extension, the people that it loves, the people that it likes, the people that it sees as no threat. In fact, the people that it knows will help it. Okay, that's how your mind works. It's not your fault, lah. It's like that. Okay? Therefore, you will discriminate. In the world, you will discriminate. The instinct is to discriminate. That's why it doesn't matter where you're from. There will always be them versus us. There'll be the people you like and the people you don't like. And I said, people you love, you chaga until the zenith degree. Infinity chaga. Some of you, not all. People you don't like, excuse me, 10 cents, sorry, don't have no change. Okay, you're more chaga. You're more chaga. But we discriminate according to our feelings. We discriminate according to our perception. Again, it's thinking, isn't it? Some degree of thinking. Feelings, perceptions affect generosity. So, when the chaga is pure, it doesn't think, it doesn't look at the feelings, it doesn't identify and put label, it just do. Okay? Next one. If you think you're learning a lot from this, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is very interesting. You sit down and think really hard, a lot more things come out in the mind. Delighting in relinquishment. It's the joy that arises when you give up something. And I say that, it's counterintuitive. Why do I say that? You will say, why you say like that? Huh? Don't you, if you look at your mind, right, and I call it retail therapy. If you look at your mind and you feel down, you feel a little down today, I'm feeling a little down today, let's go shopping. Do you say that? Not that you're going to buy anything, let's just go look at something and maybe we'll buy something. And when we buy something, we're happy. Huh? Yes, yes? Okay, the guys don't need to answer. Because when the girls go shopping, they feel depressed. Chaga hurts the pocket. Okay. Yeah, yes, true. Some degree, to some degree. Huh? So therefore, we have learned, this is learned behavior. We have learned that accumulation is delightful. Now, for those of you who came last night, delighting? Accumulation is delightful. Okay? But here, the Buddhists say, giving up, letting go, is joyous. I didn't say delightful, I say joyous. There's a difference. So what must the mind do? When it's automatic. When you are able to really let go and give up, the joy is spontaneous. It comes on its own. For those of you who have never experienced it before, afterwards, donate generously. BF donation box somewhere there. Feel the joy as you put money in and continue to put until the joy dissipates. Okay? Mind must register joy that arises when letting go. And if you find that the joy is not arising, put more. And the last point is important. The stronger the joy, the more powerful is the mental energy of chaga. Do you know that? Definitely afterwards one queue will form. And tong away. Please tong away. This is very important. Last line. If you truly give with all sincerity, a joy arises. Spot it. Recognize it. Know it. Cultivate it. Okay? I'm not preaching generosity for generosity's sake. I'm not doing that. Later on, I'll show you the importance of this mental state. In fact, I dare say, without chaga, not possible to enter the stream. I dare say, I'll show you how it works. Okay. E. Second time I'm introducing a Pali word. It's been translated as devoted to charity. Okay? The word, this is not the meaning. Yaga chaga has two meanings. This idea, yacha chaga, yacha yago. Brian also. Yacha yago has two meanings. Another meaning is ready to comply with another's request. One meaning is devoted to charity. The second meaning, is he ready to comply with another's request? The bottom one. One meaning is devoted to charity. But there's actually another meaning which says ready to comply with another's request. That's another meaning for this word. Yacha jago. Yogo. Yacha yogo. Okay. There are two meanings. The first one that says devoted to charity, the idea of charity is someone is suffering, right? Because someone is suffering, it will trigger in you the sense of compassion, karuna. It is the compassion that prompts you to want to help. Get it? That's the first meaning. But the second meaning that says ready to comply with another's request, you think about it. Someone comes to you and said, could you help me? What would you say? Yes. But there were also times when you will say, no time. Yes? Sometimes you say yes. Sometimes, depending on your state of mind, your mood, you may or may not say yes. Karuna, you will say yes. In other words, when you perceive suffering and you feel another's suffering, because the first point that says devote to charity, it's about karuna. And because of that, you will say yes. Someone fall. Sorry, I very busy. You keep yourself up. No lah, someone fall, go help. What's your problem? Someone say, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Sorry, I must go to work. I need to eat. You take a bit lah. You will say, okay, sure. Yeah? But when someone asks for help, in fact, they may just ask for a request, could you do me a favor? Then you may or may not say yes. And that really depends on feelings, mood, and relationship. I like you a lot. Anytime. I really don't like the person. I'm busy leh. Boss call me. That sort of things happen. Your mind doesn't naturally comply, oblige. Pure chaga, when your generosity is for real, if it's a mental state that arises easily for you, then anyone that comes along and asks for something, you will find yourself ready to go along, ready to offer help. For those of you who are beginning to wonder about this, you now know your chaga 有限 has limits. And you never know how low that limit could be. This is the test. This, for you, must be understood as your test. And for those of you who say, yeah, well, but people take me for a ride, now you are thinking too much. Refer to point 2, B, earlier. When you think too much, the mind's not free. That's why your chaga, lao huang. Come for my class, you learn Teochew, Hokkien, Cantonese, you name it. You get it? Can you see now how complicating, not complicating, how complex this is? Cannot think too much. Feeling must not come in. Perception, labeling cannot come in. People ask, must do. Wow, that's very difficult. What you think? Powerful mental state. It's like that. Embedded in this feature is metta. If you have metta, for those of you who say, don't know why my metta meditation really not very good, it doesn't really flow, but chaga not enough. Actually, if you really have chaga, you will have metta. That's what it is. Okay? So pure chaga, I repeat, pure chaga will respond kindly and positively to any request that I put in within reason. Just for us only lah. And as you become more and more chaga, your reason become bigger and bigger. It's okay, sure, no problem. It's because it's you. There's still an I somewhere. The last one, okay? A joy that arises from the simple act of giving and sharing. What's the difference? You see, here it says delighting in giving and sharing, right? And the other one is delighting in relinquishment. The earlier one was delighting in relinquishment, delighting in letting go. This one says delighting in giving and sharing. So what's the difference? The difference is in the source of the joy. The first one, the joy, is derived from the letting go. In this one, the joy is derived from another's happiness. Someone else feeling joyous, you feel joy with them. Therefore, it's empathy. This is the third Brahma Vihara feature that arises in chaga. Okay? So what does it mean? What's the bottom line here? The purest form of chaga is non-discriminatory. It contains metta, karuna, mudita, has no expectation because it's not thinking. It has no expectations, and there is no I. A mental state that is pure and generous and freely giving has no I embedded in it. In other words, no self-interest embedded in it. If there is a self-interest, why do you say, am I being taken for a ride? Why do you say, will they take advantage of me? That sort of things, right? Why do you say that? Because the I, the self-interest, is in the picture. Okay? Now, next question. How is chaga manifested? I'm not showing you the picture yet, because I think we didn't do it one by one, huh? Yeah. You see, my PowerPoint skill is so limited that I am more fixated about making sure that everything is there than producing animation of the first order. Actually, no order. There's no animation. Manifestation of chaga. Now, let me explain. Let me ask you, when I say dana, how is dana manifested? How is dana manifested? How do you see? How do you know there is dana? How do you know that there is dana? Sorry? Yeah, correct. There is giving, right? There's a gift being transacted from here to there. How is chaga manifested? Same question. There is giving. Yes? Correct or not? No, so everyone's so cautious. Why? Before the start of the talk, if I say, do you know chaga? You know, chaga is something like dana, and then you go, hey, I know. Okay, how do you see and judge? How do you know chaga is there? How would you answer? The joy and the giving. Okay, this is very good. Very good. You learn so fast. But the joy is in you. If I'm aside looking at you, how do I know that there is chaga? Actually, it's the same thing. It's a physical manifestation of sort. Right? When there is a gift being passed. Hey, I buy you something. Hey, I got you something. Something like this. Yes? Yes or not? Yes. Maybe my question not obvious. Which part of my question not obvious? You somehow come to expect that it has to be a chim answer. No, simple. Can you give me example of chaga? Example of chaga. Can you give me example of chaga? One example of chaga. Oh, yeah. But an expression of chaga. When you are feeling generous, what do? Give something. Give me an example of the gift. Sorry? Thanking someone. I like you so much. A gift. He said he received a gift this morning. So someone gave him something. He feels the generosity. Yeah? When someone gives you something, you feel generous. So one manifestation of chaga is tangible gifts. What are the forms of tangible gifts can you think of? Money, effort and time, Dharma. What's the highest form of gift? Any more? You know I'm trying to drive. Give you the answer. Yes, bicham. There. See, bicham. Can't even get one. I was hoping for one at least. Or two. It should have been one by one. Can you all hide the third one first? The first one, now let me explain. This is very important. When you see someone giving money, offering gifts, doing donations, school, books, time, even time and so on, when you see someone giving gifts, you will say that's chaga, right? When you feel generous, what do? You give something. Whether it's tangible or intangible, you give something. Yes? Simple enough, okay? Then I said that basically, if you look at your own mind, and you see your mind letting it go, that is chaga. If you find your mind holding on to something, and then when it is prepared to let whatever you're holding on to, if you prepare to put it down and say, it's okay, I will share. That arising of, it's okay, I will share. That arising is chaga. That mental state is chaga. How it is manifested, how it is seen, depends on the occasion. So, it can be all the tangible ones, like the money and the property and the assets and the material thing, or even Dharma, which is said to be the highest gift. That is also a form of chaga. And your organ donation, your blood contribution, all these are expression of chaga at one level. But if you're a very busy person and you have a lot of things to do, you have a lot of self-interest, eating into your time becomes more painful. Yes? That is why all charities, all voluntary organizations suffer from the same problem. They can have a lot of money because people are prepared to just give cash. But they have problems recruiting volunteers because time is 24 hours and not everybody is prepared to share time. Get it? That's why it's the second level. But if I put it to you, furthermore, not just time. Someone is crying. They are in a lot of pain. But you don't like the person. You think the person is just calling for attention. Because your thoughts, down label and feelings and all. And then getting you to just give a bit is very hard. Yes? You look at your own mind. I'm saying that when you are prepared to set aside your own self-interest and give something that you value for another's benefit. That mental state of prepared to share, that mental state, that's chaga. Okay? That is a manifestation of chaga. You want to know how generous you are? You ask yourself this. When was the last time you gave something of yourself that you find precious to another, even though you really wanted it, but you gave it because the person needs it more? When was the last time you did it? Okay, no need show of hand now, it will be quite embarrassing. No need show of hand. But you look into your own mind. And if your answer is, I don't know, maybe an hour ago before the start of the talk, sweet. If your answer is, problem. You see your problem? The chaga is not strong. The chaga is in a fledgling state. I mean, very weak. But the last one, very few people can do it. Ready? You quarrel. I'll give you an example. You quarrel with another. Your wife, your kids, whatever. Your mother, whatever. There's this quarrel. Face, pride, ego, all on parade. Catwalk. Both sides catwalking away. Now, chaga is when you let go. Not at her. You let it be. Don't anyhow let go. My teacher said must let go. So I let go at you. No, that's not what I meant. I meant to let it be. To put aside your own pride and say, I will reconcile. I will let it go. You will be surprised. That is also chaga. It's a generosity of spirit. Can you see the Buddha's sixth definition? You remember? If you apply the sixth definition into what I just said, does it make sense? It's a form of letting go. What are you letting go? For the longest time, your understanding of the word chaga, generosity, dana, for the longest time is material, tangible or intangible. But do you now realize why chaga is such a powerful force, mental state, such an important mental state? You talk about letting go of craving. Hello, can't even let go of face. We haven't let go of I don't know, time. Time, cannot let go. It's my time, my time. Oh, labor all gone. Every second all drop off. The mind part, gone. But can't give. So you look at your own mental state. Look at the mind, how the mind is prepared to drop, to allow someone else to benefit from it because he needs it more. Do you have the kindness and the giving heart to say, okay, you have it. It's okay. I'll just sit with you. You put yourself aside, You put the self aside. Now, can you kind of guess why when the Buddha, in his time, when he was teaching the lay people, on a structured learning program, the Buddhist learning program. Have you heard of it? Gradual learning, gradual teaching. What did it start with? Dana. Then we'll say, Buddha says you all must give things. No. Buddha says people must let go, right from the start. Dana, give up. Give to someone. Allow the mind to give up. Let go of self-interest. Of course, you must start gentle. Let go of chika, 10 cents. Let go of nengkap, 20 cents. And then you work your way to, now you let go of the extra food. And then you let go more and more. The parts where you're prepared to sacrifice the 10 cents, the 20 cents, you're prepared to sacrifice. But eventually the face, the eye, my interest, you have to put it down. Okay? Ayya, talk so much, they're all here. Ayya, you read. Just read. This is what happens when you talk faster than the slides. Okay, move on. Read fast, okay? 2 kinds of giving, the material giving and the giving of Dharma. This is the easy one. This is the material one, okay? Material dana solves an immediate need and want. Why is Dharma, this is good. Why is Dharma considered the highest form of giving? This is dana, giving. Material dana solves an immediate need and want. The relief is temporary. If you have the true Dhamma, it could lead to a realization of a way out of dukkha. The one who teaches the Dhamma is therefore the giver of the deathless. This is what the Buddha said. In quotes, means it was said by the Buddha. The relief when one realizes Dhamma is immeasurable. The impact felt for lives to come, your lives to come. Okay? So the intangible expressions of chaga, remember what I said about the features of chaga? Open-hearted, joy in giving, free, mind being free, setting aside your preferences, self-interest, no expectations of return. So when you help someone hurting because of compassion or whatever, you give up time and energy for the individual. That time and effort, more precious than the money. Right? Paul. You agree with this, right? So if you think about people around you, including yourself, so you kind of do a package deal poll. Do you see more expressions of material giving or this one, number 2, time and effort? More material? Yes. Less of the other one? All of you? Is there anyone with a reverse order? More giving of time and effort, but less of money. It's a Singapore audience. Why? You got more money than time. Yes? And then the last one, the one that I just spoke about. When you fight, it is hard to set aside pride and make peace. Can you let go of your own hurt to spare another pain? Or do you fight to the bitter end regardless of the hurt inflicted at the height of your own anger? At the height of your own anger. After you have so unwisely fed a lot of thoughts and built the momentum into a colossal boulder, it's very hard to let go. Can die. Isn't it? Ego is a powerful instinct. It's so difficult to be generous with a perceived hurt to the ego. It's the hardest. Agree? Okay. Now, I don't give false advertisement, man. I promise you the path to heaven, I will give you the path to heaven. Now, there were many stories where the Buddha categorically said one who was consolidated in the mental state of chaga would enjoy a heavenly rebirth. There was this lay disciple. His name was Siha, meaning lion, okay? Siha. He asked the Buddha, what were the visible fruits of giving? Buddha gave 5 benefits. The first one, a donor is dear and agreeable to many people. Number 2, he acquires a good reputation. Number 3, good persons resort to a donor. 4, in whatever assembly a donor approaches, he approaches it confidently and composed. And the last one, with the breakup of the body, after death, a donor is reborn in a good destination, in a heavenly world. Buddha say one. Okay. There is a Dhammavada verse, 177, where the Buddha said, no miser go to the world of the devas. Those who doesn't praise giving are fools. There was another story. A lay disciple, Ugga, was so sure, because Buddha was always teaching that. So this guy was very cute. It's a whole sutta. You just look at this sutta. There's a whole thing on it. 2 pages. He goes to the Buddha and he would say, Buddha, this is my food offering. Please accept this out of compassion so that I may be reborn in, I don't know what heaven he wanted. So reborn in the heaven. Every time he gave a dana, he would say that, Buddha, please accept this robe out of compassion for me so that I may be reborn in don't know what heaven. It's the same. He never changed his mind. It's always the same heaven. But he changed his mind, it would be quite confusing. So when he died, he really ended up in that heaven. And then of course he came and he gave Buddha the latest news. Buddha, I'm back. Buddha said, did you get to where you wanted? Yes. So this was captured as a sutta. Okay? They're quite cute. Then the next question, all this while, I'm just pulling out examples of lay people who went to the Buddha. Why no monks? You may say, no monks, only lay people. Because monks, they're going for Arahant. It's the lay people who are going for the consolation prize. Okay? Just let you know lah. So if you want to go for the first prize, we all like first prize. Right? Who wants consolation prize? Yeah, you all want consolation prize or not? Your answer should be, got something better than nothing. Hey, practical. No, Buddhism is practical. Okay. How does it work? Let me just explain this. We all learn about the last thought moment, right? That the moment just before the body dies and the mental energy got evicted from the body. At that moment, it will take a rebirth. The lighter the mental energy, the happier, the lighter, the more peaceful, the calmer, the brighter it will lift. Light floats, heavy sinks. So very easy, science. So the happier, the lighter, the gentler, the calmer, the better it will lift. If you don't believe, you go to sleep tonight happy. Green, smile, pray. Do whatever it takes. Not go drink, happy, go home. Not the same. You come out with a headache. Happy, light. Read the Dharma, rejoice in the Dharma, call your karma meter, chat about the Dharma, feel the lightness. Tomorrow, you see your mind when you wake up. Or, alternatively, go quarrel with somebody. Quarrel. Which is just really bad advice, but you're doing experiment, for the sake of social experiment, sacrifice yourself tonight. You just watch your mind. Or every night for the next 1 week, you chart. When you go to bed, what was the mental state? When you wake up, what was it like? Just look at it and see if it correlates to, in a very basic way, whether it seems to be correct. So the theory is, if your mind is light and happy and calm and peaceful. It's light, it will lift. That's the idea. A mind that is filled with chaga, filled with true chaga, is light, joyous, very light, very joyous. It's almost assured of a heavenly rebirth. Then for those of you who say, I do a lot of dharna, but I'm not very joyous. Now you know, dharna's not chaga. Dharna, giving itself, the act of giving without the mental state of chaga, is not correct. It's the mental state, the mental energy of chaga, the lightness that you want, that you should be cultivating. And not only does chaga, this mental energy, lead to the heavens, it keeps you there. Buddha. Give gifts. Having removed the stain of miserliness, all the 6 parts, for a long time they delight in companionship with the devas. So if you want to go up and stay there for a while longer, give with lightness. Don't fight and can't let go. If you found that, if you examine and realize that you have been fighting with somebody for 30 years, you fought with somebody 30 years ago until now you never talk, 再see. Go make peace, let go, put aside your pride and so on, make peace. Okay? This is important. Read this first. Since they give while settled in unrighteousness, having slain and killed, causing sorrow. In other words, if you give, if you think that giving is it, but you had always been a nasty person, mean, nasty, you kill, you do bad things, akusala things, your chaga not worth even a fraction of a gift from someone else, meaning someone else who is a good person, the gift is better. Buddha said, this is from Samyutta Nikaya. SN means Samyutta Nikaya. Oh, this is a different point. The earlier point, the previous point was, if you give, but you're not a nice person, the gift kena devalue. Because your mind is stained. This one says, if you obstruct people in their giving, it's bad. It's demeritorious. Quoting from the Buddha, those who are stingy here in this world. Okay, I can't pronounce that word. Niggardly folk, revilers, people who create obstacles for others engage in giving alms, they might be reborn in hell, in the animal realm or Yama's world. If they come back to the human state, they are born in a poor family where clothes, food, pleasures, and sport are obtained only with difficulty. What does it mean? You see, why would you stop another from giving? Why? Why would you do that? It is not even your money. This is the first level giving. It's not even your money, but you tell people, hey, don't give, don't give. You're wasting your money. You damage the mind, you damage your mind. Okay? Because why would you say that? There is the stain of lobha, dosa, moha in you. You will only try and stop another from giving when in your mind there are that 3 fellas. Greed, anger, ill will, and moha, ignorance, foolishness. If you don't have these three, you're not likely to be standing in the way of someone trying to be generous. Because when someone is trying to be generous and your mind is just as generous, what you will feel is joy. You wouldn't feel resentment, suspicion, skepticism. These are all the negative mental states. You will only feel joy. And I know what someone amongst you here will be going, like they're a bit naive. Yeah. Again, you're thinking too much. Thinking too much. All these thinkings stems from the self-interest. Do you think you'll be thinking about someone cheating you and so on and so forth if that fear of being taken for a ride was never there in the first place? On what basis do you say someone is cheating you? Mere suspicion? Why would that mere suspicion arise? Because of your own greed. So because there is greed in you, you already assume someone is being greedy. If there were no greed in you to begin with, it's very minimal greed in you. If there were very minimal greed in you, it would never cross your mind. Someone is out to cheat you. Do you see that? This is karma. The mind shaped in a certain way because of all your assumptions and experiences, your conclusions from your experiences and so on and so forth. The neural pathways are formed in a certain way. It reacts instinctively. When it reacts instinctively and the thought pops up, your mind will say, must be correct, must be careful. This is the prudent things to do. But you don't realize that that's unwise, because what you perceive as prudent sits on self-interest. Myself, I protect, so I guard my back, my front, my side, my rear. You guard yourself like a stone, no? Where does a stone go? On the ground. The stone can't levitate, leh? You see that? Okay. Now, proof in this life, sorry. I said earlier, no chaga, bye-bye to spiritual enlightenment. Buddha gong eh. Without having abandoned these 5 things, one is incapable of entering and dwelling in the first jhana. What 5? Miserliness with regard to dwellings, to families, to gains, to praise, and to the Dharma. Miserliness. You are stingy about This is because he's talking to monks. The monks are the ones trying to do jhana. So you are stingy about, what do the monks have? Dwellings. Where they sit, where they sleep. Those are the important things to them. For you, you have your own bed at home. But if you are in the homeless life, you choke a spot. This is my spot. This spot got no bird. Nice shelter. Nice shelter, no bird. And near to the lake, cool water. I also choke the lake. This is miserliness with regards to dwelling. To families. This is not your families. The word here is with the IES. Many families. They are sponsors. I choke the people who dana me. I don't share with you. Because if we share, I don't eat a lot. Right? The family comes and they dana 5 dishes. 3 of us eat each one 1.5 dish. See that? So it is about my comfort, my livelihood, and then gains. I don't know what gains these are, material and spiritual perhaps. Praise. Praise is important for people. People want to be praised. Who wants to be blamed? Who don't mind taking the blame? No lah, it's just human, self-interest, self-protection. And even the Dharma. Then you say, well, why miserliness with regards to Dharma? For those of you who have gone for retreats, or for those of you who have read a lot, for you taking Dharma exams, do you find yourself sometimes feeling a little, I don't want to share? I share, then they know, right? I don't know. Do you have that? Never take exam, don't know. If you find yourself hogging your notes, hogging your knowledge, don't share with others because I must run for the enlightenment first. 5 of us meditating, I must go for the jhana first. Cannot, no jhana for you. Nothing's going to work because the mind can't let go. Okay? You want to practice, you want to walk this path. I already said last night, you think so easy. You overcome your bad habits. As long as you hold on to the I, the mind, the self, it's going to be very tough to move. Remember, the rock can't move on their own. Holding on to something is going to add baggage. It's not going to move anywhere. In fact, it will just grow bigger and bigger, heavier and heavier. It's not moving anymore. So you can't even do jhana, let alone enter stream. Without abandoning miserliness, one would not realize even the fruit of stream entry. So you may learn the path, maybe because he said the fruit. So I'm guessing that maybe you can learn and you understand, but you never really taste the joy of being in that state, the Sotapanna state. You never taste the joy of the realization. Okay? Jialat. So somber. There's one more slide. I'm going to ask a question before I throw up the last slide. When you first came for this talk, how many of you already knew the meaning of the word chaga? Meaning you know it's generosity. How many of you really kind of know it's generosity? Yeah? Surely there must be more than that. All of you know, think I don't know. Yeah. You all know the word chaga? You all know, right? Okay, now I flip the question. How many never heard of the word chaga? Okay. The ones who kind of already knew the word chaga, with all these information, is it different from what you assume it to be? Now I throw you that last slide. Chaga is not as simple as you assume. And it can be demoralizing to realize that we have not been as chaga as we thought we were. Especially not when the I is in full throttle. This is the purpose of sharing this talk, this information. Knowing as you do now, can you catch yourself, teach yourself not to hold on so tightly? Can you teach yourself that if you don't know, you will have no chance of practicing, cultivating chaga? If you know what are the qualities, what does it entail? What does it mean to have this mental state? Then you have a chance of trying to practice, to cultivate, develop that mental state. So that the purpose of bringing to your attention all these little details is actually to help you in your practice. A mind seeped in true and pure chaga is living nobly. It leans towards nibbana. It leads to you reducing the I. It leads to you being able to start giving, accepting, letting things be. Chaga is a mental state that doesn't come and go, you know. Some of you may think that I need to be working for the mental state. That's because you don't have it. It's minimal for you, so you're going to start building, like exercising, you know, you start building the potential. But when chaga is a familiar mental state, it's like a guest, a welcome guest in the house that doesn't want to leave. It's a mental state can just sit there and share space with you. So can you imagine if you cultivate chaga properly and it sits in your heart? Can you imagine those beautiful mental state, that particular mental state, sitting there joyous, calm, peaceful, free, and happy? It's pure. It's beautiful. Okay? So don't see the benefit of protecting self-interest. That's the mistake. When you try and protect the self-interest, there's nothing left. There's only self-interest, and that's temporary. But if you're able to just tell the self, hey, go and sleep lah. Shh. You don't even exist. You only exist as a figment of my imagination. Go and sleep. Then you start to feel some joy in giving. And if you've never felt it, you've never really lived life. Huh? Okay? Question. Yes.
There's an online question from the online community, online audience. How does wisdom come in without thinking in chaga?
Wisdom is a separate mental state. You can have chaga. They are separate mental states. Chaga, we have gone through, is this beautiful mental energy that comes with letting it go. Wisdom is the understanding. We talk about pure wisdom, the wisdom that helps the individual in his spiritual practice. That kind of wisdom grows slowly. If the wisdom, the understanding is there, the chaga is still somewhat lacking, that wisdom must help in making the correct decisions for the individual to want to cultivate chaga. If you have the wisdom, but not quite that chaga mental state, I repeat, you have the wisdom, but you don't have quite the mental state of chaga, the wisdom will tell you, I understand, I need to practice, I want to cultivate this mental state of chaga, I will work to let go. I will initially have to work very hard and deliberately make a conscious decision to say, I'm not hanging on, I'm going to let it go. I'm doing this for spiritual practice. Eventually, if you do it successfully, the chaga becomes a more natural mental state that arises in you. When it becomes more natural and arises in you, then you begin to see, your wisdom will begin to recognize that, hey, when the mind is when the mind is experiencing chaga, the mind feels free. The mind feels light, feels joyous. Isn't that what the Buddha said? When you let go, you feel free. The dukkha reduces. The mind with the wisdom will connect first, second, and third noble truths straight away. When I'm able to let things be, I feel joy and at peace. Second and third noble truths. The dukkha at that moment is quiet, it dissipates for that moment. I'm getting it. So two separate mental states can work together, but they are developed separately. Okay? iPad says yes. Okay, got it. Next.
Next question, please. I will pass the mic.
Hello, everyone. Morning. Thank you, Sister Sylvia, for sharing this talk today. It's very enlightening. Just want to ask about one of the slides when we say when someone obstruct the other from giving is quite bad, right? Just want to seek your advice on this kind of scenario between like persons A and B, and I'm the bystander. I see this in the family. So A is the parent and B is the child, and A is not, A doesn't learn the Dharma, doesn't know the Dharma, and B is new Buddhist. So I've seen like many occasions that A will always discourage B from all these things when maybe B try to do, maybe for the family and so on, and they will say, no, don't do this, you know. So what can we do as a bystander, or what can we share with B, the Buddhist, on how he or she can deal with A? Or how we can share with A then. I'm not sure.
Why are you involved?
A family member, but not that close.
B came to you for help?
No, I am there witnessing this on many occasions.
Then you must let go also.
But if can we help in any way or something?
You find this is very situational. So do not take this as the recipe for managing all occasion in a similar way. This is very situational. I think I prefer to give you principles to go by. Okay. And this is a complex thing. When we try to pull out principles, it's really quite complex. These are the things that you need to bear in mind. As practitioner, you will come across a situation where you wonder, should I say something, should I not say something? I will take it like that. Should I say something, should I not say something? I think it's important to bear in mind that your own mind has habits and instincts. Your own mind wants to do things, wants to solve problems, wants to help people. The more proactive you are, the more energetic you are in wanting to help people. The ability to judge correctly, yes or no, should or should not, that requires wisdom. Okay? And I will use I will cite examples from what the Buddha did in his time, and then you pick what is relevant for what occasions. The Buddha, in various occasions, usually have 4 ways of dealing with the situation. It's the same 4 ways that he deals with unquestions. I'm going to tweak it a little. 1, he does nothing. He sees something, it's obviously not going to be a good outcome, but he says nothing. And he has done that. In fact, there were times when people ask him, and it's a bad answer, meaning it's going to hurt people, and he says nothing. He doesn't want to reply. Then you say, why? When people are asking you, why won't he reply? Because they're not ready to accept the answers. They want affirmation. They want you to tell them you're doing right. They only want affirmation. And if your answer is going to be, no, then might as well don't say. You see that? But then you got to rein in your own habit to want to say. Ask a question, gets an answer. Want to say. So you must judge and know there are times when you need to hold back. The second type is when he voluntarily he provide long answers. Long answers to a question, and he gives long answer, or in a situation when no one asks him a question and he gives the answer. For instance, you know the story of Sigalowada, right? The guy was just praying in 6 directions. Bow, 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 bow. Buddha could have just, and walk on. But he didn't. He stopped, he looked, and then he went up to Sigalowada and he asked, what are you doing? And the guy explained, and then the Buddha said, but that's not the right way to do it. So he offered his view to a complete stranger. When do we do that? When I'm presuming to understand Buddha. I'm presuming. I'm trying to infer, okay? It's not what the Buddha went through and it's not what he said. It wasn't what he thought. I don't know. It was not recorded. But I would think that if you look at the situation and the person obviously needed help, needed an answer, and he's open-minded, he's ready to listen, and he's very welcoming of your help. He's a good person, and he needs help, and he doesn't mind. And you check it out. What are you doing? Do you need help? Don't just, I know what to do, let me share with you. No need. First, test water. So what he did, what were you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Test water. If he says none of your business, okay, that's it. There will be no Sigalowada Sutta. But he happily, willingly shared, I'm doing this because. That's for the Buddha the clue that the boy was open to learning. So obedient. Father said, you bow every day, he goes there and bow. It's a good boy, obedient. He's testing the boy. And because he got his impression, he helped. You need to test water, lah. Okay? And if the water is sweet, that means your whoever is really needs help, really wants you to guide, really prepared to listen, and then maybe you can share more. The other 2 situations, just to complete the story, is not quite relevant. The other 2 situations is when you really, what is required of you is a categorical yes, no, to the point. To the point. That when you ask a question, and the question is Nibbana real? To the point, yes. Don't say so many things and it confuses everything. Sometime in the manner that you deal with something, just do it to the point. No need to set context. Check the ground. When do we do this? When do we get things to the point? When it is essential, it's critical, and things have to be done quickly. Again, it's all judgment call. How do you know when it's essential? Wow, that one must take out a list and start writing. So I can't answer that, okay? The last one, when someone asks him a question and he doesn't answer with an answer, instead he replies with a question. This is quite unique because sometimes someone asks you something. What happens when you are asked a question? Should I do this? Something like that, huh? Jie, should I do this? What does Jie say? Yes. Incomplete, right? Does it feel incomplete? Why does it feel incomplete? Because really you don't know the context. Once you hear a question, you have to be very clear in your mind what was the question about. Sometimes the question is not the question. He is not asking you for the answer to this question. He's just very bad at asking questions. So his question actually sounds odd. You must listen for the meaning behind that question. Do you think I should go out with him? Your answer, yes, no? Not logically, context, right? Set the context. Why do you ask? Yes. Don't know anything, yes, no. Or don't answer. All wrong, right? All wrong choices. So situational, judge accordingly. And if you make the correct assessment of the situation, your response will be correct. So I gave you 4 ways the Buddha did. One is he doesn't answer anything. Doesn't say a word. The 4th being, you don't ask also, he will tell you the details, what to do, but he has to test a bit of water. Okay, give all sorts of details. And the other last 2, he replied with a question or he replied categorically. Okay?
All right. Any more questions?
Can I just add, I just add one more point. General point in addition to what I said. Sometimes when we are very new to the teaching and we are very inspired, we are born again Buddhists, very inspired, all ready to fight the world and spread the Dharma. Hey, you watch yourself. You don't go spread the Dharma when you don't really know the Dharma. The first point in the Buddha's teaching, the first point, the first lesson way back when he started, right? He taught until they understood. Clear. Then he said, and this point I want you to bear in mind. He said, you now know the Dhamma. Now go share. 2 parts. Share it to people with little dust in their eyes. Without the Dhamma, they will fade away. They will be lost. Without the Dhamma, they will be lost. Share the Dhamma with those with little dust in their eyes for their welfare. You get the 2 points? What are the 2 points? Little dust for their welfare. It's not for your pride. It's not for your ego. It is not for you. It's out of compassion for their benefit. Okay? And not everyone will hear the Dhamma. Not everyone can hear. The mental states are not ready. You talk to them Dhamma and all they want is, what about karma? I'm explaining Dhamma. That one I know already. Tell me about karma. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so inspired and want to put it onto the internet all over the place and teach everyone to love the Dharma. Serious? So drama? Cannot. So please watch your own mind. Get your understanding straightened out. Be very clear. Know enough for you to say, okay, I think I won't go wrong. Not complete, and therefore I will just share in a small group. The understanding is not complete. We share in a small group. The way that Asaji said, remember Arahan Asaji? Chapter, don't know what in the book. I don't know. In the book, Asaji, when Sariputta asked Asaji, what was your doctrine? Who was your teacher? And Asaji said, this is an Arahan, said, I'm very new. Because at that time, Buddha haven't asked him to go and teach. So his reply was, I'm very new to this. I only know a little. And he said, whatever little you know, share. And then he shared that famous 4-liners about conditionality. Okay? Can you just imagine? That's all he shared. And this is an Arahan. So what I'm saying is, I'm not asking you to just repeat Asaji to whoever. Can you tell me the Dhamma repeat Asaji in Pali? Fella Ping Sang. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that be modest. Be modest. This is all I know. If you're really keen to know more, may I refer you to Jetawana Facebook? Something like that, something like that. But jokes aside, the whole idea is understand your limitations. Be clear. The ones that you think you know, the ones that you think you know, say, okay, this is what I think I know and I think it's right. And then there are a lot more that I'm not too clear about. But if you're really keen, perhaps you can check these books. These books, these teachers, and so on and so forth. Okay? Don't go misguide others. I haven't started business, already lost business. Okay. Okay.
Oh, welcome back. And I think you're mentally prepared for this question because it's related to the topic.
Let me read your mind.
Yes, besides karma, you can tell us about PETA for this month's sake. Well, have you read it?
PETA?
No, I mean, you said you wanted to read my mind about this. Yeah.
My mind is so pure, I can't see anything.
Yes, it's empty. So anyway, I think this is rather a concern at the back of everyone's mind. And just to give honor to our forebears, I think partly, I've been looking at it, I mean the people who were here before us were very generous. And I think to a huge extent, our current state of Singapore, at least for the past few years, have been due to them. Okay, that we've been enjoying quite a good life. So, well, anyway, this just a little story before I get into the hardcore of the matter. And I think a lot of people here would have experienced this. This came from a friend. She was in India, and she was warned under no uncertain terms she's not to give away any money. All right? Because what happened was that she disobeyed. And because of her fellow travelers got into a lot of trouble because all the beggar boys came swarming around them. Okay? And she regretted bitterly after that. But in relation to this is that a lot of times when people give away the money, sometimes they hear the funds being misused. And of course, you know, so much so that even in Singapore, foreign individuals and syndicates are coming in to cash in on the act. So how does this topic relate to how we treat the real situation? Thank you.
Good question. I go back think and then I tell you.
You have up to Wednesday.
Okay, I know what you're saying, and unfortunately, charlatan, cheating, scams, they are real. They're not real. In today's talk, there is an entire section which I never included because I only have 1 hour. But my next book will have them. Promoting the next book. And indeed, in the teaching, the Buddha did specify, which specifically on Dharma, not chaga, specifically on Dharma, the Buddha did say that the gift to the purest person, pure people, will yield the highest returns. That is true. I know I'm not quite answering your question, but just bear with me. I bored with you, right? So bear with me. There is an idea, and it's valid, and it's reasonable. There is an idea that even when you are giving, there will be the individuals that are worthy of the gift. And there will be people who are not worthy. Surely the cheats, the gamblers, the swindlers, they are not worthy of your gift. The normal human mind will differentiate. That happens. And the mind that differentiates is just a natural habit. It protects itself, guards itself, and will not freely just give. That is normal. So for the individual, you do have to find that balance. What I was teaching earlier is a chaga in its purest mind, its purest state. And it's not just about giving gifts. It is about forgiveness. It's about letting go of the I. So when we talk about practicing for the mental state of chaga, when we are practicing for the mental state of chaga, it's not, don't nitpick over just, do I gift or do I not? That is one small part of it. The larger part is really, do you have the generosity of spirit to forgive, to let go, to not fight, to put aside your own interests? That's actually the message. I am not saying apply this wholesale into giving the beggars of Calcutta. I'm saying look at your mental state and observe there is a difference between a mental state that is free and joyous and giving, and there is a mental state which is the regular mind that we have. The regular mind that we have will know how to protect itself. The regular mind that it has will know, if I walk down this street, the entire row of people here are in this begging business. And so do I give? No lah. That's not a way to practice chaga, because these guys are businessmen. And then you say, yeah, but then you're thinking. Don't you think? You mean you don't think? And therefore you're blaming me that I am telling you to think? You will know how to plan and think. I'm telling you, for those situations you're not familiar with, you continue to do what you do to protect yourself. I'm telling you, don't apply this habit of protecting yourself and being skeptical and being negative, cautious and prudent, whatever adjective you use. I'm saying don't apply this mind to all the other situations. Because when you apply it without any discrimination and you apply everywhere, you will end up never truly experiencing a moment when the mind really feels free. I'll give you an example. For the ones who are nitpicking, will say, don't give the beggar boys, blah, 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 okay? It's okay, fair. And then when he stand at the buffet queue, quickly grab. Say what? Can you let go? Can you let go? No. Because that same habit of protecting himself is being applied in all situations. I quarrel with you, you're my neighbor. neighbor, huh? You're my neighbor. Your flower pot on my side, leh. See, this line, this line. Where's the line? In my mind, there's a line. It's 0.25 cm. You cross my line. I bet you put your side, lah. The leaf fell on my side. That's the same mind. Don't let that mind go home with you. So again, back to my point to you earlier, situational judgment. Okay? Situational judgment, be wise. Be wise. Some of you may not like me saying, think lah. Sometimes must think. Actually, no lah. You always think. Sometimes stop thinking. That's what I'm saying. It's not the other way around. You will think. It's your habit. You know how to make judgment. Then you say, then someone very clever will say, yeah, but you say if you stop someone being generous, I'm stopping someone being stupid. I'm telling you, when this is a real case, when someone is in need, real need, he's dying of water, he needs water, he's dying because he's dehydrating. Hey, but then if you give him your water, then you dehydrate how? We'll find water. That's a different. You know what I'm saying. You know that the situation. You're not stupid. You know the situation. You know when it is an emergency and when it is not. Now, what about the situation when it's a fake emergency? Then the fellas karma law. Your business Yeah, but I kena gullible leh. Never mind. Hey, you do what your heart tells you. If your heart tells you you should do. Don't think too much. But if subsequently your head found out you got cheated, your heart must comfort the head. It's okay. The heart must comfort the head. It's okay. I also benefited because just now, when I was attending to the fake emergency, I was happy. Then the head must say, the head cannot say, you stupid law. The head stopped thinking. And the head says, you are right. That was a reasonable point. Why? Because the credit got stored already. And we are so much into the debit and credit, right? At the point when your heart got its way and you attended to the fake emergency, it is okay. You felt the joy. You felt the giving. You gave blood. Then they take your blood and sell. Never mind. Never mind. It's okay. You are already joyous, right? In any case, those blood you don't need. Like you didn't die, what? You don't need. Let it go. You see what I'm saying? It's helping you to teach your head to behave. If you feel it is the right thing to do. Don't think too much. Okay? Any other question?
Maybe one last question, if there is any. No? All right. Okay.
No more question, huh? We close shop. Okay, I've got something to say. I understand that BF is organizing a forum.